Casey in Roanoke, Texas, listening on Sirius XM. Hey, Casey, what's on your mind?
It's Stacy. Hi, Tom.
Oh, Stacy, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I had a couple of points to make about the Houston thing, and I live in Texas, and it's, really hard to be blue here. But I have two daughters, 10 years old and 5 years old, and I would absolutely have no problem with a transgender person using the locker room with them. And in fact, I would encourage my daughters to talk to that person and get to know that person because they're taught to accept people for who they are. And the other 2 points I want to make is, one, women don't go in and do their business out in the open in the bathroom. It's all stalls. So if you're worried about what someone else is doing next to you, the problem is yours, not theirs.
Exactly. Yeah. Although men use urinals, and probably a lot of men don't realize that women's bathrooms are that there's a high level of privacy in a women's bathroom, and so they're stupidly voting on this fear factor. I'm sorry. Back to you, Stacey.
Yeah. Well, and the other point I wanted to make is we accept children who have obvious birth defects, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, whatever the obvious birth defect is, and we make accommodations for them, and we support them, and we support their parents. And when I became pregnant with my first daughter, I found out that I had a septated uterus. It was a birth defect, and it was divided in half. And doing research on that, you find out that women have two complete uteri, however you say that, and all kinds of other birth defects that aren't readily visible, but they're devastating to these women. And why can't we accept that this is some sort of birth defect? These people just get wired wrong.
Well, I'm not even sure wrong is the right word, because there are gay and essentially transgendered animals out there. This is just part of the natural variety of the human species.
And I think that just, some females, they just get put in a male body, and it's just it's just a product of nature, and they figure it out, and they're like, no, this is not who I'm supposed to be. And why? I don't understand people. I don't understand Republicans at all. So I don't understand people who can say, these people are pedophiles and they want to get in there to ogle your girls, and baloney.
Right.
It's just baloney.
Yeah, I know. But the Republicans, see, I think most of the people who were fearful and voted their fear in Houston wouldn't have been fearful if the Republicans hadn't shoved it in their face.
Yeah,
and that's what they're.
And it was what, 14% of people? Is that the right percentage of voters that even turned out to vote for this?
I don't know Houston. In Kentucky, it was 30% of the people who were registered to vote turned out to vote. So
yeah, and look what happened there. So and I mean, here in Texas, of course, we have Greg Abbott, and I can't even start on that whole nonsense. But I wish people would just live and let live. And that's what I told your screener about my daughters is, they're just taught to accept people for who they are. And that's how it should be.
Good on you, Stacey. God bless you. Stacey, thanks for the call, and thanks for listening to Sirius XM down there in Texas. Great to hear from you.